Welcome to a brand new episode of the post game. I'm your host, Davion. I'm joined by Lillian, Omega, Caden, Oronde, and Matthew. Yay!
What up?
What's
It's funny,
poppin'?
man. If I went and stitched all these videos together, just the intro, I'm sure that'd be a fun time. So yeah, welcome back to another episode. Today we're talking about the divisional round, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills. Looking at this game, the Chiefs and the Bills. Chiefs won 27-24 after Tyler Bass misses a game-tying field goal in the end of the game.
Well, it's
There's
about
a lot
47
here.
left, but
There's a lot here for this game. First off, Chiefs fans, let us know how you feel. Bills fans, you guys have been nothing but so nice to us in the comments for every video. So continue to do that. This is also sarcasm. So continue to be your people. Looking at the Buffalo Bills, Chiefs. All right, let me hear. I'm excited to hear y'all's conversation.
Can I start?
Yeah,
I want to go second.
I just want to say, Bills Mafia, I am so sorry
Yeah.
that y'all might never do it. And I'm not even trying to be mean.
Phillip Rivers and Tom Brady.
Yes, Matthew.
I was just gonna say, I don't think if they ever go against Mahomes in the playoffs, they're just never gonna win.
This was the year for y'all to do it. They have
Mhm.
terrible receivers. They look vulnerable. They
Yeah,
look
home.
weak. And you're at home. The only time Chiefs have ever played y'all at home was in a COVID year with no fans. And
The defense was kind of
y'all
banged.
it was banged up. But the
So
Chiefs
were the Chiefs.
the Chiefs weren't looking. They had opportunities to just, put the nail in the coffin, and they squandered them. And y'all just can't get over the hump. And we can talk about Tyler Bass missed kick, but we can also talk about how Josh Allen he has Stephon Diggs. Yeah.
Yep. That 60-yard pass that went right through his
Oh,
hands.
that too. And there's a minute.
There was a go for it.
There's a minute 55 left. 2nd and 10. He throws the pass somehow short for somebody with an amazing arm to Shakir in the end zone. It falls to the ground. You have Stephon Diggs running it under,
Right.
and that can waste a little bit more time on the clock, get you a little bit closer, 3rd and 5, maybe 3rd and 1 potentially, maybe a first down. Who knows? Then you come back 3rd and 10, and you throw it back to the end zone where nobody was open. So I'm not saying Josh Allen's to blame. He had a great game, but there's a whole bunch of missed opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things is a football game's never won or lost on one play.
Nope.
And so, Tyler Bass missed a kick, but there's so many opportunities the Bills had that they just didn't, opportunize on.
So,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
I was gonna say another incident was when they ran a fake punt in their own, on the
That
4th and
Make-A-Wish
5.
play?
Yes.
Bro,
To DeMar Hamlin was a little
Sean
a
McDermott
little
should lose his job for
questionable.
that. Just
That
saying.
they got
was
away with it
bad.
because of the fumble, but
And I know they don't want to give Mahomes the ball back, but would you rather punt the ball and risk it of him going 60 or 70 yards, or give him a 20 to 30 yards right there? I mean, that's just ridiculous. And luckily, McCall Hardman turned into an idiot on the goal line and fumbled, which gave the Bills
Bro
some
has
life.
crazy stat line. Was it two catches? No, one catch, 2 fumbles, 2 carries and 0 yards. What I think
he
is
has
what it
one
was.
carry
That
for
sounds
negative
right.
1 yards,
Got him.
catch for 2 yards, and 2 fumbles.
Oh my God.
Jesus, bro. It's worse than Tony Snell, and that's saying something. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, the Chiefs tried to give the Bills the game, and they just couldn't capitalize. Time and time
Right.
again.
I mean, it's first of all, I want to give a big shout out to Jason Kelsey being the best Chiefs fan we've seen in a while.
Hear, hear.
But it's like Caden opened up with, y'all had your one shot. And Matt, you go from Brady whooping your tail every time you try to get to the playoffs. Now Mahomes is the standing in your way. You can't do it. Can't get it done. I'm so sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. I hope you continue to fail. I hope you never reach it. Josh Allen defenders, I hope to see y'all in the comments again because he threw it away for y'all again. I mean, what am I supposed to say here?
So here's the question.
Mahomes is back on his playoff routine of
Travis
showing up.
Kelsey's back to normal. Looks like 2 touchdowns.
So I've been saying this
Kelsey
all
showed
year
up
or
again.
all week. When you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they are like the Miami Heat of the NFL. I mean, they could care less about the regular season. It looked like they're trying to figure it out in the regular season, but when the playoffs and the postseason get here, it's over. They're the best team in football, and so that is why I think the Chiefs are incredible. They are a team. Patrick Mahomes is a half a billion dollar man for a reason, and he will get an extension to make him $1 billion man here soon. But when you look at the Josh Allen, 2 questions here: will he ever do it? And is he the problem?
Can I give you his playoff stats?
Sure.
Yes,
Well, after I
give
say
it-
this,
He
Stephon Diggs
is
will
he
not be
has
back next season.
he has 26 total touchdowns to 4 interceptions. And I think he
That's
has
great.
21 touchdowns to 1 interception when he's not playing the Chiefs. So he just ran into a dynasty. He's not the problem. It's just
Yeah, 100%
you
agree.
know, and it's not even Peyton. It's not even Peyton versus Brady at this point. It's Big Ben versus Brady, and that's just it's just kind of unfortunate. It's bad luck.
Will we see
really
Sean McDermott lose his job?
Within the next 2 years, yes.
Here's the thing.
He's gonna have to.
The Bills are so old defensively that they need if they don't, again, this was probably their best chance they had. Maybe you give them one more year for them to have a chance to win a Super Bowl, but if they don't win it next year, McDermott might be out for real
I think they should
because
start
Because they
rebuilding
got
now.
rid of all their other scapegoats.
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah,
I mean,
Also, the Bills have the second oldest roster in the
That's what-
NFL in
yeah.
the league at 27.6 years of age, only
Also-
behind the Dolphins.
I don't know if anybody else remembers this, but they gave Von Miller very big
Four-
contract, 5
What was
years,
it?
we
4
did
years,
lose
60
bad.
mil.
something like that. Yeah,
Correct me if
You
I'm
gave
wrong.
him
But
so much
also,
money for
Mahomes
this-
Mahomes is what 6 straight visits to the
yeah,
championship
AFC
game.
championship. And Von Miller did not look dominant last night.
I was
don't think he's
discussing
had
that
a
with my
sack
brother
all
earlier. We
season.
were talking about the Bills offseason moves because they paid him all this money and he doesn't show up. And then they also have the most questionable secondary in all of the top tier teams.
they were also injured too. They had like 2 big
Yeah.
injuries.
I know
in the
they're injured,
secondary.
but that's part of the problem. They stay injured.
Yeah,
a
because
part of the game.
Von Miller's best season with the Bills. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Mm.
but they lose in the overtime to the Chiefs. Then the next year he tears his ACL, and tearing your ACL and being almost 40 is not a good recipe for coming back and being great. So I just think you just rebuild. You maybe blow up the defense, get some new pieces in, trade Stephon Diggs.
You think
He's
they
not.
trade
It's
Diggs?
time for new weapons. It's time for new
Time.
You
weapons.
think
And
so?
It's a new offensive coordinator.
I
Joe
think
Brady
they
had half a
keep-
season.
They keep their only good deep threat in Gabe Davis because he can't catch anything short, but he can catch deep balls for some reason. That doesn't make any sense as well. But they keep him and move just about everybody else at this point. And also find a real running back. Go steal a real running back from somewhere.
James Cook's
They've
been
been
good.
trying to steal running back for
James-
years.
Yeah.
James
Cook's
Cook.
been a really good.
James
this
Cook
season.
is good, but he needs a complimentary running back. I think that would help him in that
They
offense.
they need to adopt. Yeah, they need
need
to
a power back,
adopt
for
a
sure.
2-back system.
Well, here's
Mhm.
the thing. They didn't establish a running game until they blew the Dallas Cowboys. Until they beat Dallas earlier in the season. Well, after that game, that's when you saw that their running game became relevant. After they ran over 100-something yards on the Dallas Cowboys and blew them out by 30-something points.
But speaking of this, so right now Buffalo is $44 million in a hole
Oh, I love Caden so much.
going into this year. 43 million in a hole. They're still not the worst, but we're not going to talk about that.
No, we're not going to talk about the Saints.
Saints and the Chargers. The Chargers are down $44 million right now.
Caden, you got it, bro. I don't want to. For real.
Listen.
Okay.
$43 million that they have to somehow come up with. What salary cap gymnastics are we going to do? Because if they cut
they're
Vaughn,
gonna
that's
have
still
to-
20 million.
Well, they're just
gonna
going to
cut
convert
Vaughn
his
and they're gonna-
contract.
Yeah,
I
to
feel like
signing
they're
they're
gonna-
going to
bonus.
have to.
They're gonna
Vaughn,
trade away
Diggs,
Stephon. They're gonna trade away Steph.
There's no way,
After the-
dude. There's no way.
Bro,
they
why
trade
would
Diggs.
you keep
What
him?
about
Why
what
would you
about
keep
tra-
him?
so okay, so what
Because
if
he is your. He is.
No, I know you've seen the meme. He looks like Des Bryant since Des.
I will
Des-
say,
Des-
He
yes.
wants to
Diggs
leave,
He
bro.
has
costs
been-
more
he has
than
been
every
bad
other
this
wide
season.
receiver on a team combined.
But he
he
wants to
didn't
leave.
show up.
He wants to leave, and so let him leave and go get you a nice
Let him
package
leave.
out of it.
I
I mean, yeah,
agree.
that's the thing.
Let him leave.
Diggs wants to leave, and like just like look at his production since they played.
Absolutely,
the Giants
100%
or whatever.
agree.
He's
I don't think
he's
he's worth the money.
Fell off a cliff.
he's
all of a
straight
sudden.
up 12% of their entire cap.
But is that his fault or is that the play calling?
I mean,
we
It
just
might
wouldn't
be a
see
looking at the
combination of
looking
both,
at the
but at the
passes
same
he's
time,
dropped this year, it's his
how
fault.
is he dropping this easy
The-
stuff?
the offense also has looked way better since Joe Brady has became the offensive coordinator. But
Absolutely.
you can't say it's the play
Yeah.
calling when he gets open on the 60-yard route in the playoffs in the biggest stage, and you can't
Mhm.
track the ball. He dropped it because he didn't track it well.
They
I
need-
mean, he's getting the
If
targets.
they
He's just not
don't-
catching the ball.
if they get rid of him next year, because he's on contract till 2027. So that's the first problem.
Jesus.
And each year, if they cut him or if they don't move him the correct way, $22 million a year.
They gotta move him. I'm moving him.
They got
Like
They
that.
have to move it. That's $31 million in dead cap space.
I'm moving him
31.
instantly.
And
You
this
have
is,
to get rid of him.
this is the best
He
time
had
to move
3
him before
catches for
he
21 yards.
It's
he had,
good
like,
before he falls off a cliff and
Yes.
before he just
He had
doesn't feel like he wants to leave anymore.
it's
So get him
what
going.
makes it more frustrating. He had such a team friendly deal. His base salary for the first 2 years was 2.5 and 1.5 or 1.1, and then now it's 18 million a year, not including all the bonuses and stuff. So you were
He
so
fell off the
good.
map.
You were so good.
Wow.
You were team friendly. You got a team friendly good deal for you. Good deal for him. I love when players get paid. At this point, he shouldn't get paid though. He played well to start. He looked promising because it would look like a match made in heaven when they brought him in. But now
Mhm.
he's a liability.
last night, I only saw him get open in zone coverage. He looked smothered in man, like he couldn't create no separation except that one big play and he dropped the ball. So I'm just saying, it's just time to like your only cornerstone that you truly have is Josh Allen, and you're already trapped into a dynasty situation where you're playing one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time and Pat Mahomes in your conference. And you have to see him every year in the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl. So you got to make something happen now.
And it only gets worse when everybody else gets healthy.
Yeah, because you still got Joe Burrow. Joe
Burrow
Burrow who
comes
just
back.
didn't even play this season.
Or
So
Also, Burrow beat Allen when they played in the playoffs. He hasn't
Yeah.
beaten
blew him
Burrow.
out.
So
At
And
home, blew him out
this
at
might
home.
this might even be a stretch, but imagine. I mean, I still hate Dean Spanos, but imagine if LA gets competent, if the Chargers get
No.
competent.
the
I don't think
Chargers,
I don't think he outduels Herbert.
the
with a good team.
Colts with a healthy Anthony
No.
Richardson.
Tread lightly.
Mhm.
Tread lightly.
stop.
That's a-
Stop.
that's
I'm
a lot
trying.
of-
Hey,
Stop.
listen.
Chris Evans made the playoffs with Gardner
I
Minshew.
love going out there. I love going. I have outlandish ideas to the end of time. Y'all know this, okay? But Herbert with a good team.
Thank you. With some actual like with a
Yeah,
healthy
No. Stop.
No, Herbert with a good
I've-
team's okay. It's
I've
8
never
yards that you're
said
talking
Herbert's
about.
bad. Never. I like Herbert a lot, actually. Y'all should know that.
We're well aware.
After
He's
he
fried.
set my team on fire on Monday Night Football.
Okay, and I'm just gonna make this very quick so we don't get segue into another realm. But Anthony
we're
Richardson
going.
with Shane Steichen's play calling that we saw Jalen Hurts this year without Shane Steichen. He
Yeah.
regressed a little bit.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson with that team that just almost made the playoffs with Gardner Minshew. That was
Mhm.
whether you debate a bad throw or he didn't catch the ball away from beating the Texans and making the playoffs. And he's only in year one. And if he can learn how to take hits and get better, like there's so many good basically my point, there's so many good quarterbacks in the AFC, especially young quarterbacks. It's just gonna make it more difficult for the Bills and Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, really, all Anthony Richardson needs to learn how to do is not take hits, but avoid hits.
Like Lamar.
He just needs to learn
Like
how to.
Lamar,
slide.
he let them have a little off season QB run training,
Yeah,
and maybe Josh Allen can turn into that guy. But until then, I'm still gonna hate on him. I'm not saying he's bad,
My
but he does cost them opportunities.
My vote is blowing up the team.
Yes, that's my
personally.
vote too.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that works right now.
I think
So-
what did I say? I say Sean McDermott has one or 2 years because they already got rid of every scapegoat.
Mhm.
They're gonna blow him up next year. That's what you're saying.
I think they blow it up next year. I think they have
Yeah.
one more. I think they have one more good
this is their last
opportunity.
chance.
The window's closing. It's a
Well-
three-year span nowadays. The window's closing.
Well,
And,
I have been. Go ahead. Okay.
Okay, I'll just get this off my chest real fast.
Cool, go ahead.
This is
Oh,
for
boy.
Josh Allen.
Oh boy.
I have sat here and defended you year after year. I have sat here and even sometimes called you the best quarterback in the NFL.
What?
And you fooled me every time.
Ooh, just
You
That's just the life story of being a Cowboys fan, isn't it?
you somehow squander every chance that you have. And I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's the Bills. I don't know if it's Sean McDermott. The Bills may be cursed. They're 0-4 in the Super Bowl with 4 straight years.
Katie
I
might
know
be
they are.
right, bro.
you went
because-
out crazy, bro.
No, Katie might be right because I've always heard the narrative that it's never Josh Allen's fault. When will it be his fault for a loss? Because
Was that really his fault? though?
Kid-
I mean, he made some questionable.
I mean,
decisions, I
was
think.
he the reason they lost? No, but to me, he needs to be the guy that actually wins them those games. Like he needs to be the one that can lead that team, like a Mahomes who's doing it all. But I don't know.
Like
It's weird.
Josh
It's
got
a
that-
weird situation.
Josh got that Jalen Hurts level PR defense right now because
If you-
he's not getting blamed for stuff.
if you flip the script in that game, if you put the Chiefs in that situation, they're not wasting all that time to lead to Harrison Butker mishap. Probably wouldn't happen. But
That's not going to
because
happen.
they're not scared to put the ball back in Allen's hands because he's liable to do something dumb.
Not only are they not
that's
afraid of
true.
it, but they
That's
also
true.
have more confidence that they can score again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're scared to put the ball in Mahomes' hands with even 12 seconds left. So he, like Matthew said, you have to be the guy. And
Yes.
like you haven't been like you're not hurt. Well, sometimes you do hurt your team, but you're Cam Newton said you were one of them game changers. And you have yet
To act like it.
yeah. So
Okay,
let's
here's
do
my
something.
thing. Okay, whoa. If we're gonna talk about Cam on this podcast, I'm gonna rip him apart real quick. I don't want him to sit here and call people game changers or game managers. He's a bum. Get him going. Let him.
I'm
stay
not.
in the
I'm not.
role.
I'm not going to stand for this. I'm not going to
This has
stand for
been the
this
end of the
because
post
he
game.
he
Done. I'm
has
done.
the right to talk about it.
I'm done.
Just say it to
I've
him
been
out.
your host, Dave.
You talk as a smack, bruh.
You're
You're gonna
crazy.
see myself in the
Davion.
comments.
A bum
That's
is
been
crazy.
the rest of them. This has been the post game. Peace.
The boys don't endorse this.
At all.